Well, hello everyone. I'm doing this for those of you that's a part of the Think and Grow Rich team. And what I want to talk to you about is the mind and how the mind works. Now, Thurman Fleet gave us some ideas on how the mind worked whenever he said that the mind, big circle, is where everything mostly happens. And then he gave us a little circle down here, which is the body. And so he did this not because he was having problems with the way things are built, but because he says the mind is what controls the body. And he says the mind is split into two areas. We got the conscious and the subconscious. C and S, conscious, subconscious. I got a lot of other stuff we can put on here, so that's all we're going to put on there for right now, the conscious and the subconscious. And so as you're looking at that, you got to realize that the things that come into the conscious mind, this is our thinking mind, your little thinking cloud here, this is what we think. And it comes into us, and we can decide, is this something that's really going to serve me? Is this something that I need to know? Is this something that can work for me? And because we can decide, that if it's negative or if it's positive. And then we can determine, what am I going to do with that? And here I've got a negative or a positive idea, and it comes in. But the thing about it is, it doesn't matter. We're going to accept it into our subconscious mind, which is our emotions. I'm going to put an E here for emotions. Energy and motion. We know that thoughts are energy, right? Our ideas come down from God, and He gives us seed ideas. But so many times we have a lot of things that are positive as well as negative. And so they come into our thinking mind. And then we decide, am I going to accept this or am I going to reject it? And for the things that we're doing, the things that we're looking at, you got to remember, we think in pictures, right? And this is so important to the process, because if we can think in pictures, if we can clearly see what it is we want, we'll be much more likely to be able to make the changes that we need. And because we're looking for, as a finished product, we're looking for some results, right? I'll put an R over here for results. We're looking for results. And if we don't know what it is we want, we have a hard time coming up with the results. You see, so many times in our life, we have these facts, right? And so we'll review things. We'll say, okay, this is a fact, this is a fact. We come up with all these facts about things we want to do, and then we decide, whether or not it's true or not. Because a lot of times facts are not always the truth. And so we got to take some time to realize, is this a fact or not? Because as it comes into our mind, we're going to go through here, and this is kind of a filter where we decide, what we're going to do with it. This is the deciding point. And there's a little gap over here, a little hole that says, okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and accept that. We've got these things going on, but it doesn't always come straight in. This is kind of our filter area that says, well, maybe I should look at this. Because eventually we're going to come to some type of a conclusion. We got a C over here from the information that we gather, these little clouds here. And so as we gather information, we're going to decide, what is the conclusion of that? And I'm going to talk a little more about children later on, but just to give you an idea, a lot of times children, when they're like 5 years old, they get these conclusions, that you tell, hey, we're going to go buy some candy canes, and we're going to get some wrapping paper, and we're going to get a Christmas tree, and what's the first, it's Christmas, Santa Claus is coming. They get all excited about Santa Claus and those type of things, because they just generally go straight to conclusion. The information they have, they say, oh, Santa Claus is coming. We as adults, we have the opportunity to take a look at facts. And so the facts sometimes don't always line up with what we want. That's the problem, right? Because of our belief systems. You see, whatever we believe comes down here, reacts in our body. This is supposed to be a B. And then whatever we believe, we do the actions which give us our results. And that's what's going on. And so you got to remember that your dominating thoughts, right? You see, that was talked about as we went through the book. Our dominating thoughts are those things that really control what we think, what we do, and how we go about doing things. So, as we talked about in auto-suggestion, right? Auto-suggestion. That we need to decide, we need to begin putting in our mind, we need to start putting these things in our mind that are positive. Because if we put negative in there, it's going to just make things really tough. Because we can do that. But if we think in these pictures, this is what you're going to do. If we think in these pictures and we see things like, let's say you're getting ready to buy a new car. You usually look it up. You may already know what color you want. Whenever you go to the car lot, a lot of times you don't look at every car that's on the lot. You might look at 2 or 3 different models, but you only look at a few because you already know what kind of car you want. And you come across it and it's the right color and it's got everything. You always, there's my car. This is the one that I want. I've been looking for you. I've seen you in my mind, because you did. You saw it in your mind. And so these pictures that you see of your car that you wanted, all of a sudden, there it is. And so we can do the same thing with almost anything we do. We just don't always take the time to do that. So take time and review those things. But if we don't have a clear picture, we have a hard time coming with the fact. Fact is, you knew what color the car was going to be. Fact is, you knew what was going to go on. The truth was, once you bought it, that is what you got. The truth is now what has occurred because of the car that you bought. And so many times we have these truths that come into these facts that come into our mind, like, I can't get what I want. Maybe we'll go look at the car. Well, it costs too much. I can't get the one I want because it costs too much. Or maybe you're trying to change your career. Or maybe you're doing something in your business and you say, I can't do that because I don't have the money. I can't do that because I don't have the time. I can't do that because we got this because that goes on in our lives, and it gets in the way of getting the results we want. You see, what happens is it comes to our thinking mind, and we go immediately to past results, right? And because we go immediately to past results, a lot of times we decide we can't do it. We don't even really give it a chance to become something that could be a reality. Because if we don't go through it in auto-suggestion and create enough belief in it, start creating this picture, right? The picture may be fuzzy. The picture is clear here, but our picture down here is a little bit fuzzy. If we don't get a clear picture here as well as here, it's going to be hard for us to see what we want. It's just like if you went to the car lot and you wasn't sure what you're looking for. You'd be there, 3 or 4 hours just looking at all these different cars. But most times you go and you already got an idea what you're looking at. And so the same thing's going on with us whenever we're moving forward in something. Whenever we're looking at, how can I do this? What is it that I got going on that I want to do? If you don't have a clear picture in your subconscious mind, you're going to have a hard time determining if I get the results I want. And so what happens is we go here, these facts that we have, right, that says, well, I can't do it because. And so because becomes a determining factor of why we can't do something. You see, the greatest law, the greatest universal law is the law of cause and effect. And so we are causative beings, right? Because we're created by God, and God has created us to be causative. We can do things that lead us to this causative idea. But we allow these facts to get in the way. And the fact is, you may not have enough money. Fact is, you may not know the people you need to know. But the truth is, can you get more money? Can you meet the people you need to know? Can you get the education? Maybe you don't have the education you need. The truth is, you can do that. And once you work on what the truth is, you can build a better conclusion. If you just build your conclusion from your facts, many times you'll build a false conclusion. Just like the Santa Claus. We know that there's not no Santa Claus, but the 5-year-old doesn't, because he goes straight to conclusion. So we take our facts, we use our truth, and we come to a conclusion of what we can do. And we got to remember that we are causative beings. Now, this is the mind of an adult. Okay? So remember, we think in pictures. We allow ourselves to say we can't do something because. Do not let your because keep you from doing something. Instead of be causative. And so as you take a look at this, as you draw this out on for yourself, put this with your Think and Grow Rich items in the part where we just did on the mind. So I hope this helped you to clarify some of the things. Now I'm going to do the one on the child probably tomorrow, because that one's going to help you. And then I got one more. You're going to get 2 more short videos about what we covered under the mind, the sixth sense, and I can't remember the other one. Subconscious. No, wasn't yeah, subconscious. So, I hope this helped everyone, and I look forward to talking to you Thursday night. Have a great evening. Goodbye.